Many people might dream of finding hidden treasure. For Derek McLennan, though, that was the reality when he discovered more than 100 Viking artefacts in a field in Scotland.
As we reported yesterday, the metal detecting enthusiasts found items including a Christian cross, look at it, made of solid silver, and a pot with its lid, which is thought to have been buried before the 9th century.
He nearly missed out on the find of his life, though, because of a bout of man flu, but very bravely, he went out instead with his metal detector, and you can join us now. Morning, Derek.
Morning, Derek.
So, if you hadn't gone out that day, would you not have gone back another day to the same spot, do you think? Or?
Yeah, we probably would have went back to the same spot, but it was a signal that I shouldn't have heard in the first place because it was over 2 feet deep. So essentially, I suppose it was just my time to find it, because we had been over the field many times and not heard that particular signal.
OK, so what happens? You hear the signal, you stop, you mark it, and just take me through the process, having never done this myself.
Well, you hear the signal and you've obviously got to decide whether or not you want to dig it, if it's a good signal or not. And then you obviously start digging tentatively if it's a good signal because you think there could be something precious there. And then essentially you're just digging a hole and putting your hand in and seeing what you've got.
And it must be incredibly exciting, though, when you come up with something as amazing as you do.
It's amazingly exciting. I mean, I was rendered speechless at the time.
What led you to that spot?
Just research. I'm a great researcher. I mean, that's the thing with metal detecting, that the metal detectors actually spend hundreds of hours actually researching and then searching fields in all weathers, you know, horizontal, rain, snow, sleet.
And tell us about the find, because it's some really exceptional things you found, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, the find historically is very significant for archaeologists, and because it was left, I didn't actually dig it. I recognised what I had initially.
Right. What did you get initially?
It was one silver arm ring, a Viking arm ring, and then the archaeologist Andrew Nicholson came and he excavated the rest of the treasure. So I mean, its significance, I think, is yet to be fully understood, but the academics will be studying this for decades.
Super. You're relatively new to it, minded.
Relatively, yes.
Yeah. I mean, 3 years.
Yeah, 3 years, yeah.
And you met your partner.
That's correct, yeah.
So it's very important to you. I was just wondering, leading up to, you know what I'm going to say, don't you? Have you watched Detectorists?
I have indeed, with Mackenzie Crook, yeah.
OK, have you, I'm just wondering, if it's as competitive as this lot are, let's have a look.
Lovely day,
isn't it? Haven't seen one of them for a few years.
Oh, what, the Arado? Yeah, they're pretty rare these days, but there's still a few out there if you know where to look.
Antique shops?
They're certainly classics, yeah. So you've gone for the CTX?
Good machine.
Bit flashy for my liking.
Yeah, not really your style.
Do you have permission to detect on this land?
Indeed we do you?
Who from?
Not telling you.
Immature.
Are you?
And you've got a CTX, so you've gone for the CTX?
Yeah, I do indeed. I mean, the Minelab machine is, for me, where I search in the pastures, it's the best machine for it.
Yeah.
I mean, you haven't been able to keep that treasure that you found because it's exceptional, but you have brought a couple of pieces here. Just take me through. I hope you can I'll show these to the camera. Just tell me what these are.
Yeah, you're right. There's a Roman denarius.
Right.
Probably about 1600 years old, silver. And on your left is a Victorian half sovereign, which is 22 karat gold.
How many?
Amazing.
How many hours on average do you think you have to put in to find one for every piece that you find?
We actually tried to work that out at one point, myself and my little group of friends who detect, and we reckoned that probably 1 in every 50 holes that we actually dig gives us any kind of reward. So you're probably talking upwards of maybe 10, 15 hours.
How often do you come across a ring pull from the 1980s?
Very often.
Well, congratulations.
I'll give these back to you. Thank you very much indeed for coming to talk to us. Thank you.
Thank you. It's 27 minutes past 8. Coming up, BBC News Channel will have live coverage from Pretoria as the sentencing hearing of Oscar Pistorius continues for a second day.
Here on Breakfast this morning, in a few moments, we'll have a summary of the morning's news, and we'll be joined by Strictly's Len Goodman as well as Nick Hewer from The Apprentice.
That's after, though, the news, travel and weather, wherever you are.
Good morning from BBC London News. I'm Catherine Carpenter. A 29-year-old woman from Greenwich has been arrested on suspicion of terrorism offences this morning. She's one of 6 people detained today. Police are still questioning 3 men arrested yesterday in a separate operation. A vulnerable teenage girl from West London